Happy Monday, everybody. And Matt's not going to be with us today. He's a little under the weather, but that's okay. We wish him well, and hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow. Let's talk March Madness already, okay? Nick Martinelli was the NCAA March Madness Player of the Week, and for good reason. Martinelli is a guard who plays for Northwestern University, and he's been outstanding. Here's why. Martinelli led Northwestern to wins over Indiana and Oregon, two teams that could help get Northwestern into the tournament. It certainly boosts their resume, that's for sure. He's leading the Big Ten in scoring for the second straight season, averaging 22.5 points per game, which ranks nationally sixth. And he clearly is right now the top player in the Big Ten. Now let's talk about tournament implications. Northwestern is pushing for a strong seed in the NCAA tournament. Now Martinelli's surge could make them dangerous, and certainly a dangerous matchup as the tournament of the Big Ten will get underway in just a week. All right. Let's take a quick look at the early March sports card for this particular day. All right. Loyola's men's lacrosse team opens a 5-game homestand tonight against Towson. That, of course, is something that you can watch on ESPN+. And the lacrosse season is really just kind of getting underway, which is not a bad thing. That's we have a lot of friends who are good lacrosse players. If you are on the tennis side of the I screwed that up. If you are tennis fans, what I meant to say, you got two very important tournaments coming up. One has already started, and that is the PNB PNBOS Open, which is Indian Wells out in the greater Southern California area. It's one of the biggest non-Grand Slam tournaments. It's an all ATP and WTA crowd, and they're in action. The early rounds continue today, and they will finish up on the 15th. So plenty of stuff going on there. The ISU Figure Skating Junior World Championships are being held starting today, and that one is being held in Austria. FIL Luge competition starting today. Finals tune-up. And the World Baseball Classic begins on Friday. Hosts across Japan, Puerto Rico, and the United States teams are arriving and finalizing their rosters today. Expect heavy coverage of that tournament as it opens in the next 48 hours. All right, motorsports, NASCAR this week was that Dakota event. That was won once again by Michael Jordan's team. The Toyotas came out big that time. Honda goes big at IndyCar in St. Petersburg as they got their act together. Let's jump over to the college basketball rankings for this week. Some movement. Duke remains the number one team. Arizona is number two. Michigan, again, stays at number three. UConn stays at number four. But the jump here is the Florida Gators. The Gators moved from 7 to 5, and they just seem to be getting really good at the right time. So they put a pretty good whipping on Arkansas. They beat them 111 to 77 at the O-Dome on the Florida campus. Iowa State is your number 6 team. Houston is down there at 7. Excuse me. At 8, we got Michigan State. 9 is Nebraska. Rounding out the top 10, excuse me while I get a little drink of water here, is Texas Tech. So it's a good week for the Red Raiders as well. So here we go. Second 10 of our top. Illinois is at 11. Gonzaga is at 12. Now, Gonzaga got beat by St. Mary's, who won the WCC regular season championship. Virginia, who played Duke on Saturday, and got rousted by a score of 77-51, dropped to 13. Kansas lost to Arizona in a big way, 84-61. That plummeted them down to 14th spot. The 15th spot is the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue is 22-7, and they lost to Ohio State. Alabama is your number 16 team. They won against Tennessee. Carolina beat Virginia Tech in a thriller, 89-82. They're your 17th best team. St. John's is they beat Villanova, and that was 89-57. These are all Saturday scores. They're on the 18th spot. Miami of Ohio remains undefeated. They beat Western Michigan 69-67 in a real nail biter there. But as of right now, 29-0, University of Miami of Ohio in the MAC is the only undefeated team in college basketball. Arkansas lost to Florida. We mentioned that. They remain in the top 20 at 20. 21, first time we've seen them for a while, is St. Mary's. Now, again, I just mentioned that they really ran Gonzaga off the court. It was a 70-59 game on Saturday. That puts them in the 23rd spot. The University of Miami, Florida, of the ACC, beat Boston College 76-54. That makes them the 22 ranked team in the country. Then we've got Tennessee. Tennessee lost to Alabama, as we mentioned earlier. They're at 23. 24 is Vandy. Vanderbilt lost to Kentucky 91-77. And St. Louis is rounding out your top 25. They beat Duquesne in a game played in Pittsburgh by a score of 91-76. Here's the teams that didn't make the top 25 but did receive votes, and that would be BYU. They got 75 votes. Kentucky got 47. Louisville, 47. Missouri, 40 votes. Wisconsin, 27. Clemson, 16 votes. Utah State, 10 votes. UFC, which of course is University of Central Florida, they got 7. High Point got 7. Dayton got 5. Villanova got 4. Navy got 3. NC State got 2. TCU got 2. Ohio State got 1. Santa Clara also getting 1. Okay, so that's your this week's men's college basketball top 25 rankings. Let's go to the power rankings. Speaking of basketball, let's go to the power rankings in the NBA. It's been a crazy week for them. We've seen the return of Luka and LeBron to the wonderful Los Angeles team, the Lakers, the number one team, as you might expect, and it's been this way for a while now. The San Antonio Spurs, their record of 43 up and 17 down has been really good. They're on an 11-game winning streak. So now they're headed to Detroit in hopes of wins. So the Spurs are, without question, right now with Victor Wembanyama, their main man in the number one spot. The Pistons in Detroit, your number 2 team, they didn't move either. They stayed there from the power rankings. Their record is 45 wins and 14 losses. The Pistons lost their first meeting with the Spurs, but they rebounded to pick up 3 more wins over teams last week. They still have a 6-game lead in the loss column at the top of the Eastern Conference. The Pistons had some success in transition. They had 38 transition points last week on the offensive glass, which is 22nd. And they also got 22 second chance points. That's a hard thing to say. So the Spurs, remain atop the power rankings. Number 3, Oklahoma City, the Thunder's 47-15. Jalen Williams remains out, but the Thunder keeps rolling along. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, is back, and he was out for 9 games last week. And just in time for the game with the Nuggets, the champs beat Denver for a 3rd consecutive time, and not a bad situation. SGA, by the way, scored 36 points in the Thunder's overtime win over Denver, even though he didn't play in the extra period. So there's the number 3. We'll take you up to number 10. The New York Knicks slide into the 4th spot. They're 39-22. The Knicks came off an empty set with Cleveland. Remember, they lost to Cleveland last Tuesday, but they got their most impressive win of the season over the weekend by ending, San Antonio's 11-game winning streak by shutting down their top 10 defense. Takeaways: the Knicks are now one of 6 teams that rank in the top 10 on both ends of the floor, having scored 103.1 points per game, and also defensively, they've been outstanding. So good vibes at the Garden for the Knicks fans. The Celtics slide in that number 5 spot. Last week they were number 5. They stay the same. They're 20 games over 500 at 40-20. The Celtics lost a battle between the league's 2 top defenses in Denver on Wednesday, but they bounced back and won 4 in a row. So been a big week for the Celtics. They had that 1 loss in Denver, but hey, it happens. All right, let's move down to the number 6 spot. That's your Cleveland Cavaliers. They're at 38-24. The Cavs continue to have bad luck with injuries, seeing James Harden, fracture his right thumb on Tuesday night, and Donovan Mitchell missed his last 3 games with a groin strain. But they got big wins over the Knicks and also over the Pistons. So that was been a good week for the Cavs as they continue to march up the standings. Your Minnesota Timberwolves, gosh, 38-23. The Wolves went 3-0 on a trip out west, and they climbed right into 4th place in the West with wins over Denver and over Portland over the weekend. Okay, all right, that's number 7. Number 8. Your number 8 team is your Denver Nuggets. Denver's have a 37-24 record. The Nuggets haven't won 2 straight games since January, which is something concerning. They're 1-3 on a stretch where they're playing basically the seeds that are right now 11-12. So they should. The Nuggets need to get out of that post All-Star funk and get back in the game here. It's going to be trouble. Right on their heels, the other team from Texas that everybody's paying attention to, the Houston Rockets. They got 37 up and 22 down on this one. The Rockets found some offense last week as they climbed back into 3rd place in the West with a 3-game winning streak before coming up empty against the Miami Heat on Saturday. The winning streak was the Rockets' best 3-game stretch offensively in over 3 years. They averaged 124 points per game, which is not a bad number by any stretch of imagination. So the Rockets are right there on the 9 line. On the 10 line, it's the Phoenix Suns. The Valley of the Suns. Suns are 34 up, 26 down. The Suns struggled without Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks, but they got a huge win over the Lakers on Thursday. Royce O'Neal hit the game winner. It's a 3-pointer with 0.9 seconds left on the clock, and they got out of Los Angeles with a win. So there's your top 10 teams in the NBA. Let's slide over to Major League Baseball as we take a quick look and find out what the scores are. There are scores going on right now because, of course, it's spring training. Let's go to top of the 9th. In Port St. Lucie, the Marlins and the Cardinals are tied at 2. The Braves and the Tigers, which, by the way, is on ESPN if you want to watch it right now. And the Braves 4-1 over the Tigers at this point. And that game is being played in Lakeland over in Dunedin. If you are around the Major League Baseball Network, you can catch that one. It's the Red Sox and the Blue Jays tied at 5 in the top of the 8th. In the bottom of the 7th inning, the Astros and the Nationals. The Nationals lead the Astros by a score of 3-1. So that's going on in the. They both play in that same ballpark, which is the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. So, Allen West Palm. Nationals, Astros having a good game. Nationals up 3-1. Rays and Buccos is the top of the seventh inning. That game is 1-1 at this point in time. The Giants and the White Sox just got started out in the Cactus League. Giants and White Sox, no score, top of second. Bottom of the first, out west in Arizona. The Reds and the Cubs are 4 up on this one, 4 up on the Reds, 4-0. Colorado they haven't gotten underway yet. Guardians Rangers, they've got no score at the end of one frame. Dodgers and the Rockies, no score, bottom one. Padres and the Athletics. The Athletics are up on the Padres 2-0, and that game is in the bottom of the first. And the final game on the schedule today, Royals Angels. That's also at the top of the first, and they are up by a score of 2-0. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have for you today, everybody. Hope that you're enjoying your Tuesday, and we hope that Matt can make it back tomorrow. So until then, I'm Jim Williams, and by all means, have a great day.